I picked this one up so that I can use the parts off of this one and put this one together. Some of this stuff was in the blast. This old Yaesu receiver.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Wow. Yeah.
And you can see these Collins. I had shelves like this built, and the Collinses were on the shelf that was faced the house, and it sucked the explosion sucked that wall, and I had it ram set it into the concrete, sucked that wall right off of the concrete, and the radios fell.
Oh wow. God.
And so some of them are, you know, were in worse shape than others, but others of them made it through. You know, these here, they did just fine.
Wow. KWM2A.
Yep.
I'd been looking for one of those. I was gonna get Don had one, you know, for sale a couple of years ago. I don't know where you picked it up, but
this is a really, really sweet one. I might have got that one Don had.
I don't remember who bought it, who you said bought it. It might have been you.
Yeah, it might have been me. That might be it right there. This one here I got from Dennis, N0 NWP.
Oh yeah.
And it is mint.
Yeah.
It didn't go through the blast, so it is real nice.
Wow.
I've got a power supply for it right here that I bought at the Joplin Handfest, but it doesn't work, and so I've got to go to work on it. I've got another Collins power supply somewhere that was in the blast. These are all Collins power supplies. They're the PM2s.
Oh, yeah.
And they slide into the back of the KWM2A, and it makes it a 1-unit radio.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, you bet.
Gosh, yeah.
Kind of neat old radios.
They are, yeah. They really are. That's a good looking one.
It
All
is.
the knobs are in good shape.
Oh, yeah. That's the first Collins I bought.
Is it?
I bought it from a collector. I bought his complete station. He had an S line. He had that. He had a 30L1 power supply and everything. And I bought it, and I traded. I let Dennis talk me out of that, and then I picked up a 32S3 and a 75 S3B set of twins, and he wanted them real bad, so I took that in on trade and let him have the twins. Yeah. I've got this is a 32S1 transmitter, and I've got the receiver is right here, and then I've got another transmitter right there, and one of those transmitters, the serial number on it is 25.
Oh, golly.
How cool is that? So, and it needs an on-off switch, and I actually found an on-off switch for it. I've got it over there. I bought it from I can't remember.
Do you like this tram cable?
I do.
Yeah, I bought some of it.
Yep, and that's the one that's got the foil shield.
Yeah. That's what I got. Yeah.
That's all I run.
Yeah.
I've put 2,000 watts through mine on that by mistake. I was running that. I've got an AL 1200. I'll show you my basement station, and I turned on my 103, a cubic 103 that puts out about 120 watts, and I forgot to turn the mic gain down, and I keyed up that amp, and my 2,000 watt meter just went bam. Oh.
Are these just amps you've been working on?
Well, they're amps that I picked up that are broke, and they were in the shop there in Stark City, and I moved all this stuff over here. All this stuff, I was so depressed when the house blew up that I almost didn't move this stuff over here. I almost put it in a dumpster.
Oh my gosh.
But Monty and Dennis and Lyle came over and said, "Come on, Steve, we've got to move it over," and so they helped me.
I'm glad they did.
Yeah, me too. I've had a lot of fun with it.
This is a museum.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got some really cool stuff. I've got this set of Yaesu twins, the
Yeah, you were talking about that.
101, you know.
Yeah.
And then these are Kenwood Twins. I've got Yaesu Twins down here, the old 400 Twins.
Yeah.
I've got the Drake Twins on the table there, the B line. I mean, I've got, these are my Swan Twins. So I've got the twins of just almost every, you know, old radio.
I don't think I've ever seen Swan Twins.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I bought these to replace the one I lost. If you look at my QRZ page, it has my Stark City station with all the and right up at the top left are my Swan Twins, and I ran them all the time.
Yeah, I think Gene gave me some cable just like this.
Yeah, it's they use it in you know, building transceivers and stuff. So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it. I've got an FT1000D that's got a problem, and I've got to make a jumper out of this and try to replace the jumper that's in there. I think that's my problem. When it gets hot, it breaks down. So
that's the one I used to have. My dad had one of those, and then I inherited it.
Yeah, somebody gave me that one. I put it up on the Variac, and it's burned up.
Is it?
Yeah, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, that was the first radio I got when I got licensed the second time. I went down and picked it up at my mom's house, brought it back. It hadn't been running, oh golly, let's see, probably 20, 25, 30 years. And it's old enough, so.
Yeah.
And it worked, got it going, and it worked. It was on 10 meters. Talking to guys in Florida on nets in Florida, Port St. Lucie.
Oh, wow.
Down there. I had a vertical in the yard, and I was using it. I was talking to South America, and then the bands, you know, they went out. And propagation went out. And it's hard to do that anymore. Yeah,
I've got a couple 10-meter antennas here. If the band ever really comes back, I'm gonna put them back up. The A99 solar com.
Yeah.
A99s.
Yeah, that's what those guys were using down there in Florida.
This is my 30L1, the original one. And I put 572Bs in it instead of 811As. It still works real good.
Yeah.
I use it when I'm out here. This is probably one of my favorite Swans. Is this 400?
Yeah.
It's a real pretty one, and this is it doesn't have a VFO on the radio. You've got to have an external VFO, and so I've got the 420.
Oh yeah.
And then this is a matching power supply for it. But yeah, that's a real nice radio. I had one of these. I picked this one up to replace the one I had in the Swan state in Stark City, because I used it all the time too. I think it's on the center shelf or maybe the top shelf, but it got used a lot because of the remote VFO. It's the most stable Swan.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's real stable. But anyway, I make frequency counters. This one I made. Well, Dennis actually made this one. He's the one that taught me how to make them. This one's for this Drake, so that you know where you're at on it.
Yeah.
And I've made a couple for the Swans. You can get these little frequency counters off of eBay for $12.
Oh wow, that's a good deal.
Yeah. And then we figured out that, of course, Dennis figured out how to do it. I picked up these old Swan. There's a Siltronics, there's a Swan, and what I want to do is figure out how to put one of these in that.
Yeah.
Because those don't work.
Yeah.
I got them. They were broke. They came in a bunch of Swan junk that a guy gave me.
I've seen those FC1s before. Yeah.
But some nice old stuff.
It is.
I enjoy it, that's for sure. Have a lot of fun with it.
Do you have these running, these Drake Twins?
I picked these up from Tom, W0KOM, and Oh, he was in a pinch and needed some money, and I have never even hooked him up.
Oh, you haven't?
No, nope. And they're pretty nice.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they're good shape. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah. I need to take them down to the basement. I'll show you I'll take you down and show you the basement station. I've got a stinking monitor that's taking up way too much room.
Oh, computer monitor?
Yeah, my laptop. I think you remember those deals. I think they had them at St. Louis. Those little they said Breakfast Club Picnic 2019, I think it was. And they were kind of a clear plastic, real heavy, and they gave them out. And I got one, and I had it up on the shelf, and I had the computer underneath it, and it fell and hit that top of that laptop and shattered the screen. And so I hooked up a monitor to it. Lyle gave me a monitor, and the monitor is way too big. It takes up too much room, so I don't know what to do about it. But I need to get these hooked up. My plan was to have this here all twins. You know, and I got doing work on it, working on radios, and then I never did it. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have my twins all along here, you know.
Yeah.
So that I could hook them up to a switch like this, you know, and just take turns running them.
Wow.
And then I never ended up doing it.
That's
so
good. Yeah, that'd be a great spot for it.
Yeah, don't
do
you
that
think?
and I'll come back.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's an incentive.
There you go.
You know, this is an old cubic amp. My brother picked it up for me. $100, and the guy it wouldn't work. It wouldn't even come on. So he pulled the tubes out of it, and he sold it at a Hamfest in Georgia for $100. Mark called me up and he said, "There's a guy that's got a Swan cubic amplifier here." I said, "Well, what's he want for?" He said, $100. I said, "I'll take it." He goes, "It doesn't have any tubes." I said, "I don't care."
Yeah.
He said, "It doesn't work." I said, "I don't care. $100, I'll take it." So I got it home, and a wire had come loose in the tuned input circuit, and that's the only thing wrong with it.
Yeah.
And so I found the wire and resoldered it and put a set of C-Trons 572Bs in it, and it does 600 watts just easy as you please. Dennis, we both have cubic 103 stations, and he wants that amplifier because it matches it. This is what the cubic. Let me see if this is what the cubics look like.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
They've got two VFOs. They call them PTOs. This is a 102A, I think, but the 103 is BXA. The 103, which is a predecessor, you know, that came after this. It's down there. I run the net with it all the time. It works really, really well. It's a mil spec radio. The inside of it is amazing.
Yeah.
So.
About what year did those come out?
Oh, I'd have to say, what, 75?
Yeah.
Maybe late 70s.
Well, I've heard of it when you mentioned it. I looked it up. Yeah. And so I hadn't heard of them before.
This is a nice Swan 270B, and it's got the SS16B filter. That's a rare bird right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ought to be using it, but it sits here on the shelf. It's just, you know, it's just so much stuff. I need to go through it. What my plans are is this fall I'm gonna start going through this stuff. I've got a bunch of power supplies. I'm gonna hook the radios up, and I ran the net with that radio. See, this is one of those counters I built.
Oh yeah. That's a nice color.
Yeah. Takes a little while to warm up. It moves pretty quick when it's warming up, but see, then it settles down.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, it did real good this morning. I maybe bumped my knob twice. This is the Cubic 103.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a matching power supply and speaker. That's where we are in the mornings after Breakfast Club. I go there at 39.98. There's always a bunch of guys there, but this is a real nice radio, and it's got this the passband tuned.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, yeah. And it's got a IF gain and an AGC delay, which is kind of really cool. And plus an RF gain, you know. So this IF gain, I mean, it works almost like an RF gain, but it helps you really get the noise out of there. This is a pretty cool radio, and it's 10 through 160. So, you know, most of the old Swans were just 10 through 80. So it's a real nice radio. Of course, here's my 830 and my 700CX. This crazy thing here this morning was doing about 300 watts. I got it loaded up, you know, and it was only doing about 200 milliamps and putting out 300 watts. It was cooking.
Yeah.
And this is a radio I call my convertible. I was telling you about using that coax to make a jumper.
Yep. Yeah.
This jumper right here, for some reason, when it gets hot, when the radio warms up, I lose my receive. I don't lose my transmit, I just lose my receive. This is a low-pass filter board. Yeah. And I replaced the low-pass filter board, but it didn't change anything. And so Byron over there in Tennessee said, well, he said, it's probably one of these coaxes coming in is got a break or something in it. When it heats up, it opens up.
Yeah.
But I call it my convertible because I can't put the top on it and run it. If I leave it like this and turn this little fan on, it'll never stop working. It'll keep working the whole time. So this is my FT 1000 convertible. Yeah, the guys teased me. They said, "Oh, so you got a convertible now?" So yeah, this is a.
Oh, you got some radios down here.
Yeah, stuff I'm working on. This is my project right now. This is Charles KB0 MSB. That's his Swan. It's not working right. It was drifting. I mean, when you turned it on, you couldn't talk on it because it just started running up the band, and the VFO tube was bad, and one of the 12 BA6s were bad. So I replaced both of those, and it quit drifting. But now the receive doesn't sound right, and the dang audio transformer is. We made a counter for him so he could keep it on frequency. This audio transformer is burned up.
Yeah.
So I've got one. I've got an old 700CX there that's got one in it. So I'm going to replace it, and I hope that fixes his receive, and then I'll be able to give it back to him. But I've been working on it I was working on it before I went to Florida, and then I got kind of burned out on it because I couldn't get that thing to receive properly, and then I was talking to Dennis, and I saw that, and I went, man, that doesn't look right. And I asked Dennis, I said, is that transformer back there? Is that for the audio? He said, yeah, that's the audio transformer. I said, well, I bet if I replace that, the receive will come back up. So, but it's a Swan 500. It uses a 6LF5, which is kind of a weird tube. Oh no, 6HF5, which is kind of a weird tube, but man, it puts out good power.
How much does it put out?
Oh, it'll do about 250. Yeah. All the 500s do.
Oh, the 500, yeah.
Yeah, do between 250 and 275. You know, if they're in good shape.
Is that one over there just a later model? Yeah.
It's got instead of the 6HF5s, it's got the 6LQ6s in it, and a little different, receiver.
Yeah. Oh man, it's still in real good shape, the front end.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I've got this. This is a real nice radio. It's a 350 Charlie. You don't see very many of those. Most of your 350s are 350s. But they came out with this 350 Charlie, and this one's a real nice one. It's in good shape.
Yeah.
And it puts out good power. I was going to hook it up. There's that stupid monitor that's in the way.
That's too big for you?
Yeah.
Oh man, you ought to see my monitor.
Yeah. Well, you're not trying to stack a bunch of radios. My plans were to put another shelf, you know, so I could go up with more radios, and I probably will still do that sooner or later. But I just haven't. I don't know. I'm getting old.
I've got
Rich.
yeah. That's what happens to it.
Yeah. You know,
none of us are getting out of this thing alive. You know.
That's right. That's right.
Have you thought about an arm for your monitor? Mount it on the wall and then bring the arm out.
I didn't even
that
know.
way you don't have to deal
Do
with
they have stuff
pedestal.
like that?
Yeah, you don't have to use that pedestal.
Oh, I'll be darned. Well, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, just mount it on the wall.
And I could mount it to anywhere.
Yeah.
Could do that.
And then you need the bigger monitor.
Well, I don't know.
You could bring them forward though. You can, you know, it's got the arm that you can bring forward. I'll send you a link to some.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
That's terrific. What antennas are you running?
Oh, this, I've got, on this station,